Welcome back, I'm Riley Jack, and this is the Entertainment Pulse. I wanted to give you guys a brief reaction video to the Oscars, just my thoughts on what happened, the surprises, the upsets, and then what I think about the Oscars going forward. And yes, I am already looking into movies that I think will be Oscars player for the 2020 ceremony. So first of all, I just wanted to talk about the host, which there was none. What did I think of that? I thought it worked beautifully. A lot of people did not think that a no host ceremony was going to go over well. A lot of people were worried about it, and a lot of people thought the ratings were going to be low with no host to draw in extra views. But its speed flowed beautifully. The ceremony seemed to go without hiccup, really. And to be honest, I looked it up, and the Oscars were actually viewed more this year with no host than it was last year after Jimmy Kimmel hosted. And I thought that the no host was actually a brilliant idea after the Kevin Hart controversy. Say what you will about that. I'm not here to comment on that. But basically, the no host for the ceremony I actually really liked, and it cut about 20 to 30 minutes off the ceremony, which a lot of people enjoyed because the Oscars do have a tendency to be a longer than 3 hour show, despite the fact that 3 hours has always been their goal. And I think they only went over by a little bit this year. I never was bored this year, and I never thought there were awkward moments. And without the awkward jokes that some of the hosts make that don't go over well, it seemed to be a pretty dang good show. And so I do endorse the no host. I think it was a great idea. Um, I don't think they will keep it only because I think they want a host to try and bring in more views. And I think the reason why maybe they got more views this year than last year is simply because big name movies such as Bohemian Rhapsody, Black Panther, and A Star is Born were nominated, not just the typical indie dramas and comedies. So I do think that had part of it, but it was a very successful ceremony, in my opinion. Number two, I want to talk about the biggest shock of the night, which was Olivia Colman winning Best Actress over Glenn Close and Lady Gaga. I talked about in my predictions video that I thought that Glenn Close was a lock to win, and Lady Gaga was the only person that could have beat her. And Olivia Colman pulled it out, and I was shocked. Needless to say, though, she does deserve it. Every performer in that category was fabulous. Olivia Colman was just in a different kind of league, and she was phenomenal. And I was glad that she won. I mean, yes, I am a Lady Gaga fan. I am a Glenn Close fan. I'm a Melissa McCarthy fan. But Olivia Colman deserved to be up there with those ladies, and she ended up giving one of the best speeches of the night because it was so genuine and heartfelt. I definitely think that it was a well-deserved win. And while I know a lot of people were upset about Glenn Close not winning, just a few days after the ceremony, it was actually announced that she will be starring in a Sunset Boulevard musical movie, which I think is a much better vehicle for her to win Best Actress because she is a wonderful singer. Not a lot of people know that about her, but she has done Broadway musicals. In fact, she's done Sunset Boulevard, the musical, on Broadway twice. So I definitely think that's a better kind of movie for her to orchestrate and to possibly win in. I'm very excited to see it. I love movie musicals, and I definitely think she will probably win for that. I would be very surprised if she didn't. So it's slated to start filming this October, which means I would guess that it's going to be an Oscars contender for the 2021 ceremony. So let's hope eighth time is the charm, Glenn. I love you, but I am excited to see that movie, and I'm excited to see what she does next. But again, Olivia Colman did deserve it. I know that she's going on to work on Netflix's The Crown. And then I also know Lady Gaga has been rumored to be in a few other movies. But the biggest rumor that I keep finding is that she's actually going to possibly star in a Broadway revival of Funny Girl, which was a role originated by Barbra Streisand both on stage and on film. So sounds like she might be going for the EGOT. And now she's going for the Tony since she has an Oscar and a Grammy. She got several Grammys. But moving on to another category that I thought was a shock, and that was the biggest one of the night. Green Book winning Best Picture. In my predictions video, I did say Roma was going to win, and that if any movie was going to top it, it was Black Panther. boy, was I wrong. And looking back now, the writing kind of was on the wall with Green Book. It was always kind of the runner-up. And I would like to explain something real quick to those of you that maybe didn't understand Green Book winning at all. And that is that the Oscars has a tiered ballot system. A voter does not simply just pick one movie as their choice for best picture. They will number it from 1 to 8 or 9, depending on the number of nominees. And here's the thing. Green Book probably was number 2 or 3 on a lot of people's lists. And those 2 or 3 add up very quickly until they get over 51% of the vote. So while Roma may have been a lot of people's first choice, if it was 5 or 6 on a lot of other people's ballots, that means that the 2s and the 3s that Green Book got elevated it past Roma. So I do believe that's what caused Green Book to win. A lot of people are upset about it. I personally, Green Book was my least favorite choice out of all 8 of the nominees. I'm just not someone that enjoys that kind of cheesy ending. And there is a lot of controversy behind Green Book on whether it's factual. And I'm kind of thinking that in terms of movies that really gave complex stories this year, gave unknown stories this year, I really didn't think this was the right choice. Moving forward, I think that maybe the Academy might adjust their voting rules so that this doesn't happen again, because even if Roma didn't win, there was a lot more deserving movies, Black Panther being one of them. I would also say BlacKkKlansman deserved to win, A Star is Born deserved to win. But I definitely think the Academy might want to take a look at this going forward, and maybe in the future, a movie like this that gets surrounded by controversy and whatnot might just not make it to the finish line. But we will see. And while Green Book was my 8 out of 8 choice for Best Picture, I do congratulate everyone that was involved with that process. And I will have to say the performances given by Mahershala Ali and Viggo Mortensen were fantastic and both deserve to be nominated. Mahershala did win, no surprise there. They are both gifted actors, and I do think that if anything about this movie went right, it was casting them. They were phenomenal. So those are my thoughts on those major categories. There wasn't a whole lot of other upsets and whatnot. Bohemian Rhapsody took home 4 awards, which actually I found out Bohemian Rhapsody now has more Oscars than The Godfather. So there's that. Black Panther took home 3 Academy Awards, and 1 made history as the first African-American woman to win Best Costume Design, so that is awesome. And she deserved it too. Black Panther had some wickedly cool costumes. In other areas, I didn't see a whole lot of surprises. I loved the Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper performance of Shallow. I thought it was amazing. They have such great chemistry. But yeah, there really wasn't any other surprises for the night. I thought the ceremony was wonderful. And if you guys disagree with me, let me know why below. I'd love to have a conversation. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and like this. And I hope to be coming out very soon with my next video. See you guys later.